There's an incredibly disturbing video that has gone viral of Israeli soldiers attacking the funeral of a slain journalist. So, video showing police officers in Jerusalem beating and kicking pallbearers carrying a coffin that contained the body of a journalist, Shireen Abu, I'm going to butcher her name, Akleh, striking other mourners with batons and forcing one man to the ground. The incident happened. I love how they call it an incident. This is the New York Times, by the way. Incident. No, not an incident. But it happened outside a hospital in East Jerusalem, where mourners had gathered to take the coffin of Miss Abu Akleh, who was a Christian, to a nearby church for her funeral. This is look, she is was a huge ally to Palestinians. She again, Palestinian American journalist, highlighting crimes against the Palestinian people and abuse by the IDF. So now I'm going to show you the video here, and it's actually a couple of them put together. One of the videos has been viewed about 2 million times, and it's going to show the police cracking down on this funeral, attacking the pallbearers, and it is a content warning. It is very disturbing. Take a look.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you. As you see that the police there, that there's already some trouble. They're beating the crowd back here.
مشهد مؤلم بكل تأكيد على الهواء مباشرة. قوات الاحتلال نعم تعتدي على الشبان.
التابوت لم يبقى الآن قوات الاحتلال تطلق القنابل في داخل.
All right, so that's pretty messed up. So we're going to have some details here. Now, police claim that, oh, no, we were incited by the crowd. You see, the crowd was incited, and so obviously we had to go in, and we had to bust some heads during a funeral and attack pallbearers. Now, look, one of the men who were carrying this, and by the way, those are not light, okay? He was being hit by a baton from one of these police or military officers, and he refused to drop it. This man is like, no. I'm getting my ass kicked, and I'm going to not neglect my duty as a pallbearer. I mean, massive respect to him, but he shouldn't have been in that position in the first place, because the police should not have been beating people during a funeral. Does anybody have any respect for the dead? Jesus Christ. Now, Israeli police say that, oh, no, the reason that we went in is because they were throwing stuff at us. Oh, okay. So what was so dangerous that they had to come in and beat people with batons? Including the pallbearers, who obviously couldn't have thrown anything. Well, apparently, they alleged to have thrown several plastic bottles, and alleging that there were rocks and a stick, while they threw gas grenades. Now, in a statement, the Israeli police said, oh, we had to take enforcement action after mourners began chanting nationalist incitement. And after the officers had given the crowd a warning, don't you dare fly your Palestinian flags. There were flags on the coffin. They ripped them off. You can't have that. She was a Palestinian American journalist. She has the right to have the flag on her coffin. Just absolute disgusting. Just disgusting at all. All right, as the coffin was carried out of the hospital, again, going back to the New York Times, police said that they were forced to act because rioters began throwing stones. They were throwing stones, there were rocks. The police later distributed video showing an empty plastic bottle and 2 other bottle-shaped objects being thrown in the direction of the officers in the moments before they advanced in the pallbearers, and separate undated video showing several stones in the ground. There was no clear indication of when or how the stones had reached that spot. So look, understand, again, this is information from the New York Times. For them even printing that, just that, probably scandalous. They're going to be accused of like anti-Semitism or something for saying that, well, yeah, I mean, we don't really have any confirmation of what the Israelis were saying. The Israeli police were saying, the IDF was saying about the rocks. It's not going to matter. I mean, how much more brutal can you get? And by the way, this is the same journalist who was likely shot and killed by Israeli sniper fire during a recent raid. So not only did they possibly kill her, but then disrupt her funeral. As if that's not enough. We will brook no dissent. We will brook no dissent in here. How dare you fly any flags? The Israeli police warned her family about displaying flags and slogans at the funeral. Now, the UN is already investigating this. But you know who's probably not going to be swayed by this? The United States, who continues to send the IDF more and more money and defend everything that they do. Again, you even try to point out that, hey, maybe the Israeli state shouldn't be an apartheid state. Maybe they should actually treat Palestinians with respect. And maybe that would cut down on violence from the Palestinian side. Because, yes, the Palestinians every once in a while lob some missiles. I don't think that's the right thing to do. But then there's a massively disproportionate response from the IDF, who, by the way, puts them in the position of where they cannot even argue for statehood. They can't even go to the UN and say, we would like a home of our own. We would like a state, that is treated equally, that is a neighbor, so we can basically govern ourselves. Can't do that. We're not allowed to do that. We're not allowed to go and use peaceful means to negotiate for our own place, and are segregated and are treated very poorly in these areas. It's essentially an open-air prison. I mean, it's just disgusting what's going on. Absolutely disgusting. I think it's completely indefensible what the Israelis are doing in this case. What the Israeli government is doing, by the way. There's a lot of Israeli Jews, American Jews, that are against this, that are against what's happening to the Palestinian people. And yet, there are people that, of course, will go and label anybody who calls this out as anti-Semitic. No, criticizing the government of a country that seems to be doing, and in my opinion, is doing apartheid, an illegal occupation, that's not anti-Semitism, that's fact. And it's not an indictment of all Jewish people or the Jewish religion or anything like that. No, it's calling out an injustice that is happening. And if the same thing were happening to the Jewish people, I would be speaking out in favor of them as well. So it's just absolutely disgusting what's going on. Attacking a funeral. This is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous.